about good TV. I think I do. I love film. I do love film, but I actually am a believer that good TV is superior to film, mainly due to its capacity for larger narratives and character development. And I just thought I'd share with you. I might do a couple of parts of this because there's other shows I want to talk about. There's a few I've seen a few of, but I would need to watch more, like Deadwood and 6 Feet Under, and I might go back to Lost, but I'm not too sure about Lost. The twists annoy me. But there was this explanation about the story that I quite liked, and if I watched that with that in mind, it might make the show make more sense, even if the creators didn't know what the hell they were doing. So yeah, basically this first show is a show that I've already talked about on my Facebook account. I did a note about it. I love this show and I went into it in quite detail. I might do that as a separate video, just read out the note that I wrote. But it's The Wire, and The Wire on the face of it is a cop show, but it's so much more than that. It's insane. Basically, you know, what it does is it examines society. It takes certain parts of society and it shows why nothing goes wrong or nothing goes right, why things never really change. Like in the second season, they talked about the dock workers, and then in another season, there was a character a character called Bodie, and he was talking about how he doesn't get any respect from his fellow drug dealers and things, and how they're not looking out for him, and how they wouldn't help him if he needed help. And it's those kind of dialogue that could easily be transferred to workers, to the working class, you know, to hard workers and people like who don't get enough pensions or stuff like that. Unjust things that happens to people in their workplace. They can easily be transferred to anything. They examine things such as the school system. They do politics, and they talk about how cops, you know, they showed cops dodging murders because certain politicians are running for mayor and stuff like that. They talk about stuff like that, but you know, it's not just that. It's an entertaining show. It's one of the best. It's probably the best written show I've ever seen. Definitely the best acted show I've ever seen. The characters are vast and immensely drawn out. There are a few that aren't as drawn out as others. I think Lester Freeman suffers from a lot of one-dimensional aspects. He's basically his job and nothing much else, as his roles. But when you've got so many characters, you have to excuse that kind of stuff, really. As long as you have a good amount that are gone into a little further. You have Jimmy McNulty, who is kind of hailed as the lead, who is slowly but overtly self-destructing. So he's really interesting to watch. But you know, there's so many great characters: Omar, Bodie, Stringer. You know, so many great characters. It's insane. My favourite season, for anyone who's watched it and just wants to know, is the first and the fourth. I think they're amazing. The first season and the fourth season are just some of the best of TV ever. And The Wire is the best TV show when it's at its best. So that's The Wire. This is Sopranos. Sopranos is the first kind of introduction to proper drama that I ever really had. The central performance by James Gandolfini is amazing. Really, really good. It's funny. It feels real. It feels the most real out of all the characters, because compared to The Wire, some of the characters in Sopranos do come off as a little bit hyperbolic and a little bit over the top. But in general, you know, it's the greatest. The first season of Sopranos, I love all the seasons. It's all 10 out of 10, but the first season is better than any mob movie I've ever seen, including Goodfellas, which is my favourite mob movie. But the first season of Sopranos is amazing. It's such a roller coaster ride of so many things. You know, it's amazing. The relationship between him and Malfi is really good. The relationship between him and his wife and his many affairs that he has. But yeah, this is a great show. Check it out if you love mob movies and mob culture and stuff like that. You'd love this series. It really did reinvent the mob genre. This next show. Most of the American ones I watch, apart from this one and the next one I'm about to show, are from HBO, as they generally broadcast the best in general. But this one isn't. It's from network TV. What's the was it ABC? No, I don't. You have to excuse me. I don't know the channel it's on. Let me just check. No, I can't see which one it's on. But it's a really good show. It's by the creators of Sopranos, and it's Mad Men. I've only actually watched half of the first season, but I love it so much I had to include it. There are certain elements that aren't so good. I think probably the reliance on, kind of the way they treat women and all that is obviously it's realistic given the time it's set in the 60s. But it does feel like too much of a hook sometimes, for the show. And also basically sometimes they'll go like, oh, here's a photocopier or something, here's a piece of new equipment. It's kind of like an in-joke. But no, I mean, what's so great about this show is the set design is amazing. The characters, the ones I like so far are Don, obviously, because he's the main one. Peggy, Don's wife, Pete Campbell, such amazing characters. This is a really good show that I really, really am looking forward to see how this pans out. Next one is a show that can get a little repetitive. It's House, which is a medical drama. It can get a bit repetitive, like they'll go like ad breaks, they'll go, oh, this guy's got a bad eye. Wait a second, your leg doesn't fall off when you've got a bad eye. Dum, dum, dum. It's a bit like that, but it's the character of House that's the most interesting, and he kind of pulls it through. Some of it's more cliched, formulaic moments. So many great episodes as well. House's Head, Wilson's Heart, season 4. Some really good ones. As I say, it gets a bit repetitive, but if you can look past that, there's quite a good little medical drama here. And a good character study as well. Next one is The Office. The last one I'm going to show today is The Office, the British series by Ricky Gervais. It's an absolute genius show. The way it uses the subtle comedy and the dramatic moments, like the "Don't Make Me Redundant" scene, is one of the best scenes I've ever seen. It's just an amazing show. It revolutionised TV at the time, comedy especially. It's just genius. It's really, if you haven't seen this, please check it out. It's just the comedy style is amazing, and I really like Extras as well. But there's something about this that really sets it above. Okay, as I say, I didn't really talk much about each one, but please check them out. I'm going to leave them really for you to check out. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.